Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction episode 1 of Yowamushi Pedal. This is, as always this week, a donation reward, and this one specifically is for Specca de Grau. So for those of you who are just tuning into this and haven't been seeing everything else this week, whether you're new to the channel or not, this week we are doing a donation reward appreciation week, which means every reaction this week is a donation reward. For those not familiar to the channel, donation reward is a system I have where you donate via PayPal, you get a reward. Every donation, no matter how big or small, gets one reward. It can be anything you want as long as I haven't seen it. You can have me react to a movie, a series, something off of YouTube. Again, as long as I haven't seen it, it's fair game. It doesn't matter what genre, it doesn't matter what era it's from, as long as it's new to me. Now, this week, like I said, is all donation rewards, and 10 of those are just shows. These are the meat of what we're getting to this week. 10 new shows that have been on the back burner. They've been on my list because they were requested via donations, but because I only have 2 slots at most at one time on my channel for donation reward shows, I can't get to everything right away. And because of that, some shows have been on the waiting list for a while. So this week was basically a way to give back to the donators and start to get to some of these shows. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them again. I'm not going to be able to continue all of them right away. But we're able to get to 10 of them this week to at least start them. To at least check out the first episodes and see what's going to happen and continue forward at a later date. So it at least gets us going. It gives us a sort of preview, you could say. Now, like I said, we will be continuing all of them at a later date because even though these are just the first episodes, this is not a first impressions reaction here. First Impressions, for those, again, who don't know, is another system we have on the channel where simply I just react to the first episode of something and judge it based on whether or not I want to continue it at that point. However, those are only for shows that I choose, that I personally choose, and I am just not sure on whether or not I'm going to end up enjoying. Now, you can donate for a first impression, but that's not super common. Usually you just donate for the series and I give it a shot. And so with everything this week, it's going to be like, oh, we're checking out these donation rewards and they're going to continue. Unless one of these series is just that bad or that offensive or something, we're definitely continuing it. And more than likely, none of them are going to be that bad. So we're going to continue everything at a later date, and hopefully we end up enjoying it enough to figure out exactly where we'll kind of reorganize the list at, because right now the list is just kind of there, but after watching these first episodes I'll be able to reorganize it and determine, okay, what do I want to get to next? Which of these shows like really excited me the most? Which do I want to get to before the others? Which am I not in that big of a hurry to get to? Stuff like that. And that will determine like what will fill up the slots as soon as they open up for more. Now there are other donation rewards still waiting. For example, all the 10 new ones we're doing this week are new. We're not doing any donation rewards for series that I've already started or done in the past. For example, someone may have requested me to get back to a series that I reacted to in the past and either dropped or just hadn't gotten back to yet. So they donated and requested that as their reward, I get back to that in the future. Those ones I'm not counting for this week because I've already started those shows. Why bother counting that for this? Instead, going for the newer stuff. So that kind of stuff doesn't really count here either. But we are doing the shows that are currently in our slots, currently in our rotation. We did already this week an episode of Hell's Paradise, which we've already been reacting to. And we are planning to do an episode of Symphogear G as well. And yeah, so this special, I guess you could say this special week, is going well. We're nearing the end of it, but it's been a good time getting to check out some new stuff and enjoying some of it. And nothing has really been that bad. Like, even the stuff that I didn't enjoy as much has not been that bad. So, yeah, overall, I'd call it a success so far. But we still have today and tomorrow to go. And for this one, we have Yowamushi Pedal. So what do I know about Yowamushi Pedal? I know it's a biking anime, like professional cyclists. Like Lance Armstrong, the dude who is famous for doping to win medals and stuff. The guy who probably wouldn't have won the Tour de France without doping. Or at least not as many times as he did. But I don't know too much else about this. Like, I assume the goal of this is to be in something like that. Maybe not they might not exactly use Tour de France because maybe they can't. But something like that, a competition. And to be honest, it doesn't sound the most exciting. Like, an anime about cycling, it's like, yay? It doesn't sound the most exciting, to be fair. But this is actually a pretty popular anime, and I'm willing to give it a chance. Now, I think I might have given this a chance back, like, years and years and years ago. Like, when did this come out? Because I started really getting into anime in 2014. And there were a bunch of anime that I was just around that time, like even for maybe a couple years after, that I was just checking out randomly. Stuff that I just did not know whether or not I would like. And yeah, apparently this aired in 2013 to 2014. So this, I believe I checked the first episode out before. It would have been like back in that time though, because that was the time I was checking out most things, or not most things, but all of these various shows, and it probably would have been the only time that I would have thought about checking out something like that, because for a lot of the rest of the time it's like sports anime never really appealed to me. So the only time I would probably check it out would be in 2014, maybe 2015. So that being made clear here, yeah, that was like 9 years ago. It was almost a decade ago. 8-9 years ago. That's pretty insane, and that's a long time. And again, if I did check any of this out, it was probably just the first episode, and I don't remember anything. So, to be fair, I'm still pretty much blind on this. And I'm not even 100% sure if I did check it out back then. I'm just saying, like, if I did, it was back then. It is an anime that I've just heard about, and I've heard people talk whew, excuse me, positively about. And hopefully it ends up impressing me a lot more than I'm expecting. Um, I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to go into this fairly, but I just, I don't know what I'm going to think of it. Some of these other shows on this week's schedule are definitely more my thing, I would say. But we'll see because I might be surprised because that's happened before. There's plenty of anime I've checked out that I did not think I would like, but ended up loving. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is a great example of that. I've used it plenty before as an example. Um, I thought I would hate that series, and I ended up adoring it. So, I guess now we just get into this and hope for the best. So, yeah. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. First off, I don't know why it looks like my shirt is glowing. That was distracting me during some of the episode. I was paying attention and everything as much as I was able to and everything. So don't worry about that. It's just that was a little distracting. At one point you may have noticed like the lighting and everything started changing on my webcam. I was actually messing with the settings, trying to see if that would help, and it wasn't. I have no idea why it's doing this. Also, I don't know if it looks like this to any of you, but it also looks like my webcam is like foggy. I don't know how else to describe it. But I'm wondering, like yesterday I accidentally dropped it. I accidentally dropped my webcam. I'm hoping that it didn't mess it up any, but it might be a factor. I don't know. Either way, that's not a big deal. I mean, I can still be seen. It still looks good enough. So anyway, this first episode was very much what I would expect for an anime like this. Especially with it being a sports anime. Nothing surprised me really. Our main character being kind of this nerdy otaku kid who's kind of an outsider, doesn't really fit in, but is very secure and happy with where he's at. Yeah, it's like I've seen that a million times. You have the kind of rival best friend character who is super competitive and is like a pro in the sport and everything. It's like, yeah, obviously. You have the club mates who are very talented, but still very nice. You have the nice girl who has a less nice friend. It's just like all of these are tropes that I've seen time and time again. And it's like nothing really stands out. And there's no but to that sentence. There's not like, I'm not going to like suddenly go into, but there's this, this, and this about this. No. Nothing about this first episode stands out. Nothing was bad. Nothing about it was bad, but nothing was that great either. Nothing really impressed me. But nothing was bad. Nothing like was overall like damaging to the episode. So it's like I don't know what to say in these afterthoughts. Like I don't know like what I'm supposed to get from this when I kind of have very little of an opinion. It felt safe. It felt like by the numbers. I don't have any investment in really anything. But again, I'm not hating anything either. So it's I just kind of exist as someone who watched this. If I had seen this before as well, like I said in the pre-thoughts, I might have seen this back in like 2014, 2015. If I did, nothing about it seemed like that familiar to me. Like again, I obviously knew the core plots of this about like bike or not core plot necessarily, but the core idea of this series about biking and all. But it's like I don't remember the characters at all, the story, anything like none of that connects with me. Even watching it here, it's like I didn't remember anything. So if I did see it before, shows how little of an impact it left on me back then. um, yeah, I don't have anything to say. I have like no thoughts on any of the characters or any of the plot points or anything because it didn't really give me anything to want to talk about. It didn't give me anything to get interested in. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, I don't have anything. Nothing about this makes me want to or gives me anything to really say. So, yeah. If it's not apparent, I'm trying to drag out these afterthoughts a little more. uh like I said though, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't really that good either. It was just very meh. But we'll see how things go. We'll see how things go in the future. Maybe it'll start to pick up. I don't know when we'll continue this yet. Sometime in the future. For the time being, thank you so much for tuning in. Tell me your thoughts down below, and thank you. Thank you to. I'm sorry, I have to check here. Thank you to Specca DeGrau for donating for this. There's so many videos I've been doing this week. It's like I have to remember which one is which. Thank you for donating for this. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't give more of thoughts on this one, but I hope you enjoyed the reaction nonetheless. That being said, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.